before breaking up with Chen Feng spent all his money on her. So his mobile phones are also old-fashioned Android phones, which can only make calls, and crash when he downloads WeChat. Tang Xiaoman reminded Zhang Feng just now, after leaving Zuishan restaurant. Zhang Feng found an Apple store nearby and bought the latest iPhone. The money to buy a mobile phone is simply a drop in the bucket for Zhang Feng now. It wasn't until now that Zhang Feng realized how easy the life of the rich is. Half an hour later, Zhang Feng rode a battery car and returned to the rental house. The moment the key was inserted into the lock, Zhang Feng suddenly hesitated. He was thinking, when he opened the door, would he see Mina sitting in the living room with her hands wrapped around her face, waiting for him to come back and clean himself up. To be honest, he didn't think there was anything wrong with what happened at noon, but women never say right or wrong, all mistakes are the fault of men. With this complicated mood, Zhang Feng turned the key and opened the door with a click. The living room was pitch black, and the whole room was extremely quiet, without a single sound. Zhang Feng breathed a sigh of relief, and suddenly felt that his thoughts just now were a bit ridiculous. After sharing the rent with Mina for nearly half a year, the beauty shut herself in the room all day, not knowing what she was doing. Even the meals are ordered to take out and eaten directly in the house, and the combined time between the two of them is less than 3 hours. Sometimes Zhang Feng would also guess what she was doing in the room. Occasionally, I listened with my ears sideways, and only heard the sound of music and the faint voice of Mina talking. Turning on the light and gently closing the door with his foot, Zhang Feng walked to the hall with heavy steps and collapsed on the sofa. Several major events happened one after another today. Zhang Feng felt tired all over, and he couldn't cheer up. After resting for a while, he struggled to get up from the sofa, went back to the house, found a change of clothes and went into the bathroom. 10 minutes later, Zhang Feng came out of the bathroom wrapped in a towel and wiping his hair. The bathroom door is next to Mina's room. When passing by her door, Zhang Feng heard Mina's voice coming from inside, so he couldn't help but stop and listen. The sound in Mina's room was very loud, and the loud music made Zhang Feng a little uncomfortable, and even Mina's voice became a little blurred. After listening for a long time, Zhang Feng only heard the words reward, brother, and follow. Zhang Feng's curiosity was immediately aroused, as if being scratched by a cat's paw. It was very itchy. What the hell is Mina doing? This is the doubt that Zhang Feng has always had in his heart. This girl doesn't go to work or school all day long. She stays in her room every day and keeps her computer on. It stands to reason that her consumption is not low. All kinds of brand-name bags and cosmetics can be changed casually, and even Versace and Dolce & Gabbana are worn for clothes, which are not cheap. Not to mention other things, the rent alone costs $2,000 a month, which is not something ordinary office workers can afford. This girl doesn't do anything. What does she do to support herself? Reminiscent of the few words he heard just now, Zhang Feng suddenly realized, is she an internet anchor? Zhang Feng is no stranger to the term internet anchor. As a dick, Zhang Feng often browses various websites to solve his youthful restlessness. And there are some live broadcast apps, which contain various female network anchors. As long as you pay, you can interact with the female anchor, ask her to dance, sing and tell dirty jokes. If you are a little familiar, you can call the female anchor out and take her to dinner and a movie. In private, those female anchors will also contact the eldest brother on the list, and send them a selfie video or something if they have nothing to do, as a bonus. In fact, to put it bluntly, these live broadcast apps are equivalent to the websites of half an island country. In addition to not revealing the flesh, the clothes he wears, what he talks about, are all provocative. Now hearing Mina's voice in the room, Zhang Feng couldn't help being shocked. Could it be that Mina is that kind of network female anchor? Network female anchors mainly rely on audience rewards or accepting advertisements to earn commissions. And Mina looks so beautiful, and usually dresses very sexy, so the income in this line of work must not be low. Zhang Feng touched his nose and couldn't help sighing. Hey, what's wrong with this world? Pretty girls are either sold or seduced by the rich second generation. Can't they find a decent job to support themselves? Zhang Feng growled helplessly. Today, Chen Wenwen chose to abandon herself because of the rich second generation, and now even the neighbors next door are doing such unsightly things. It seems like every pretty girl has to do some crooked ways to make herself comfortable. Thinking about myself again, after delivering food for 3 years and going through the wind and rain all day, Zhang Feng felt that he had lived on dogs for the past 3 years. Boom! At this moment, the door suddenly opened. Mina came out from inside and bumped into Zhang Feng. Mina was startled, took a step back, stared at Zhang Feng vigilantly and said, "What are you doing here?" Zhang Feng was also taken aback. He didn't expect Mina to come out at this time. His gaze fell on Mina involuntarily, and he saw that she was wearing a pair of hip-length hot pants, and the legs of the trousers were deeply sunken into the middle of her thighs. The off-white suspender t-shirt is tight and textured, and half of the snow-white fullness can be seen from the collar. Zhang Feng swallowed, and pretended to be calm and said, well, I just took a shower."